The Fantasy Waiver Wire.
Dave, I have a confession. I missed the playoffs in my money league this year, and it's not for lack of trying through your waiver wire picks. So thank you for keeping me alive, but you are going to help some other people win their leagues here.
Yes, I'm going to try. I made my fair share of leagues. I missed one league. I had Jahmyr Gibbs, Judkins, Nico Collins, and it's an IDP league with Max Crosby, who's the third-ranked edge rusher. Guy's gotten me like 30, 40, 50 points several times this season. I missed that by one. So pretty salty about that. But I did make playoffs in half my leagues. Number one seed in this work league here. Although I've drawn a formidable matchup with Mr. Commissioner Mac Douglas in the first round. So I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse to be the best in this one. So we'll see what we can do for you this week. Chris Rodriguez didn't really help us much. 10 carries for about 52 yards. But he does have a great matchup on deck this week with the Giants. So if you made the playoffs, you still got him in the wings. Our other running back, Blake Corum, had an absolutely huge day, 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kyron Williams is playing well. Corum's looking better and better. So hopefully you grabbed him. He'll be a stash if not. And he's still out there, so you can get him anyway. No bye weeks. So we're done with those. Players are a little sparse out there, but we've got a few who could help you down the stretch. Few injuries, players like CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins with concussions, so you might have a need out there. And we'll see what we got. First off, for some running backs, Blake Corum back out there. If he's still out there, he's got to be on a roster. 50-plus yards in 4 of his last 6 games. 3 touchdowns in his past 2 games. Like I said, Kyron Williams is not going away. He's certainly not going to cede his job to Blake Corum, but Corum is looking better and better as he's progressing, and his touchdown equity is certainly going up. We've got him for a 34% touchdown probability, and 41 rushing yards this week is very much in play as a touchdown threat down the stretch. Bam Knight as well. Kind of surprised he's out there still, 37% rostered. He's been filling in pretty well for the Cardinals. Little bump last week, but previously had double-digit points in 3 straight games. Trey Benson appears to have suffered a setback, so he should be RB1 for Bam rest of the way. He's got the Bengals on tap in Week 17 for a really good finals championship or fantasy finals matchup. 37.7% TD probability and 33 rushing yards this week. But like I said, really good matchup with the Bengals on tap in a couple weeks' time. For receivers, bit of a injury dependent here with Ryan Flanoy. CeeDee Lamb does have until or he's got 10 full days to clear the protocol because of the game on Thursday. So there's a really good chance that Flanoy will not be very fantasy relevant. However, Lamb is in the protocol. Status is TBD. And Flanoy has filled in for CD specifically twice, like great this season. Just caught 9 passes for 115 and a touchdown. Like I said, not the first time he stepped up. Probably only worth it if Lamb sits, which he may not, but he'll be a fantasy wide receiver 2-3 in this offense if he does. Luther Burden of the Bears could be in line for a little bit of an uptick as the season goes on here. He's seeing more targets than he was pretty much all season, coming off his best game since the Cowboys game back in week, 3? Not saying a whole lot as he had some real quiet ones in that span, but 5+ targets in 4 straight games, which are all season highs. The Bears do need to generate more production from their wide receiver core, and it kind of feels like he's the one in line for it. DJ Moore isn't being very efficient, and feels like a big day is coming for Burden. We've seen the big playability from him. Got a 9.5-point PPR projection this week, 44.9 receiving yards, 16.1% TD probability. Tough matchup kind of with the Browns, but probably a guy you want to at least have stashed in case you find yourself in need of a receiver. Tight end, Harold Fannin Jr. We've talked about him before on this show, and he's as fantasy viable as he ever has been. He's still only 40% rostered in leagues, so he's available in the majority. 8-catch, 114-yard, 1 touchdown game in week 14, followed up his 43-yard, 1 touchdown game in week 13. Both of those games, Shedeur Sanders under center. He's looking for him. You could probably start him with confidence the rest of the way as a tight end one. Bears haven't been elite against tight ends, and you're probably going to be able to get Bannon in any 10-team league. There's a good chance he's out there. Projected 11.8 PPR points, 32% touchdown probability, and 4.5 receptions for 47.5 yards. So bit of PPR gold right there, about a 10-point floor. Pretty good stuff. And can't believe I'm saying this, but if you need a quarterback badly, you can look at Saints rookie Tyler Shough. Yeah, he's like 40 years old, but he's got games of 19, 18, and 22 fantasy points over the Saints' past 4 games, 6+ carries in each of those, 6 total touchdowns in that span. Panthers, Jets, and Titans on deck for some pretty good matchups in the fantasy playoffs. Project them for 18.0 PPR points, 234.8 passing yards, though, isn't nothing, and 16.1% rushing TD probability. Could do worse than that if you need somebody, and it's pretty stingy out there at this point in the season. So if you need somebody, need a dart throw, he'll definitely get you more than Jalen Hurts and Tyrod Taylor did this past week, which was negative points.
This is why fantasy football is the best, right? The biggest
Yeah.
names can randomly have a Jalen Hurts week, and it's Tyler Shough who can win you a league. No, I like the Shough shout, particularly so because, especially with quarterbacks, at this point in the season, let's just be real about it. There are franchises that are trying to lose games. And sometimes when there are franchises that are trying to lose games, there are individual players that are trying to get a contract and make their career that conflicts with their franchise clearly trying to lose games. And Tyler Shough is one. You mentioned his age. Like, if he is ever going to have a legitimate role in this league long term, he needs to play well and he needs to get people's attention. And going on the road to Tampa Bay and making plays in a monsoon is a good way to potentially put yourself on the radar to earn a contract one day. He's been brilliant, and he's not going to win the sex appeal contest as far as quarterbacks go, but he might win you your fantasy league if he's still available and you can pick him up. Matchup dependent, even if you've got good quarterbacks, if you're in like a 2-quarterback league, I would pick him up and possibly look at starting him over some of the bigger names in the league. He's been electric. So I like that shout, Dave. I like all the shouts this week. Harold Fannon's been amazing as well. So yeah, thank you.
I'd be in if I went Shough over Tyrod Taylor. That's single-handedly pretty much what kept me out of that league with Max Crosby was my minus 0.76 points from Tyrod Taylor. I lost by about 20. So pretty much any other QB.
Brutal.
I won't tell you who else I had on my bench.
There's still time. I'm setting the over at 1.5 for championships won by you in fantasy football this year.
That'd be good. I'm due.
We'll get the update.